Hey there, Trailblazers! If you've been navigating the cosmos in Honkai Star Rail, you've probably noticed there are 7 distinct paths in the game. Each one has its own unique vibe and playstyle, but today we're diving into one of the most powerful and game-changing paths out there, the Harmony Path. These are the characters that don't just shine on their own, they make your entire team better, stronger, and downright unstoppable. If you're all about stacking buffs and turning your squad into an unrelenting force of destruction, then you're in for a treat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is Harmony so broken? Well, it's because this path is packed with characters that bring insane value to any team comp. They buff your damage dealers, speed up your squad, and sometimes even add a bit of spice to your strategy. But hold up, just because it's a great path doesn't mean you should throw your resources around randomly. In this video, we're going to break down all the Harmony characters, share who's worth your precious Stellar Jade, and help you crush the toughest content like a pro. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. Let's talk about Asta, our fiery 4-star Harmony character in Honkai Star Rail. While she might not top the charts compared to some of her Harmony peers, don't underestimate her potential. Asta shines when paired with a fire DPS, but here's the catch. Right now, the game doesn't have a super strong fire carry to help her reach her full potential. So, while she's viable, she doesn't quite break into the top-tier territory. Still, if you're a fire enthusiast, she's definitely worth considering for your team. Now, let's break down what she does best. Asta's skill deals damage to random enemies up to 5 times, and for each unique enemy hit, she gains a stack that boosts your team's ATK. Sounds great, right? Well, there's a bit of a downside. These stacks decrease quickly when it's her turn, so in battles with only one target, like against Kafka or the Malefic Ape, her utility takes a hit. She's definitely more suited for multi-target fights where she can build and maintain those stacks. But don't sleep on her ultimate, it's a game changer. The speed boost she provides is one of the most valuable stats in the game, especially in endgame content where timing and turn order can make or break your strategy. Even if she's not your first pick, Asta has the tools to keep your team competitive, especially when you need a little extra kick in the speed department. Let's talk about Yukong, one of the 4-star Harmony characters in Honkai Star Rail, and how she fits into your team. On paper, her kit sounds amazing. She's a support who can give your allies a massive ATK boost with her skill. But there's a catch. The boost only lasts for the next 2 ally turns. So, unless you've perfectly tuned your team's speed, your main DPS might not even get the benefit. That's a big oof, especially if you've been hyping yourself up to see those sweet, juicy damage numbers. Now this issue gets even trickier when you pair her with someone like Jingliu. Since Jingliu can take 2 turns back-to-back in her enhanced state, she might end up eating that buff all by herself, leaving your other DPS hanging. That's not exactly ideal when you're trying to maximize team synergy. Yukong's potential is locked behind some heavy optimization, which can feel frustrating if you're just trying to have fun and not break out a spreadsheet every time you play. But don't write her off just yet. Yukong becomes an absolute monster of a support once you get her 6th Eidolon. That's when her limitations melt away and she turns into one of the best supports for imaginary DPS characters in the game. If you've got an imaginary main DPS like Welt or maybe a future unit you're saving for, Yukong with her full Eidolons is a game changer. Until then though, she's more of a conditional pick. Amazing when everything aligns, but a bit of a headache if it doesn't. Let's talk about Hana, one of the 4-star Harmony characters in Honkai Star Rail. If you're all about managing skill points and keeping your team in top shape, she might catch your eye, especially early on. Her unique kit focuses on supporting characters that guzzle skill points, like Danheng Imbibidor Lune or Qingque. Here's the deal, her skill slaps a single enemy with the burden effect. Every second attack on that target will recover a skill point, and guess what? The attack that applies burden also counts toward this recovery. Pretty neat, right? You can trigger this effect twice per enemy, making her a clutch pick for SP management. But here's the thing. While Hanya's mechanics sound great, the value of those extra skill points starts to drop as you become more comfortable with the game's rhythm. Once you've got a solid team and better resource management, her SP recovery might feel less essential. And sure, she provides some other buffs, but they just don't stack up against what other top-tier Harmony characters bring to the table. Think of her as a situational support character. Great in the right hands, but not exactly a must-have for every team. That said, don't write her off completely. If the game meta ever shifts toward heavy single-target battles, Hana could easily climb the ranks. Her focus on boosting individual characters who need a constant skill point flow could become invaluable in that scenario. So, while she might not be the Queen of Harmony right now, she's got the potential to shine when the time is right. Keep an eye on her. You never know when she'll surprise you. Brona is one of the standout 5-star characters in Honkai Star Rail, and let me tell you, she's a game changer for any team built around high DPS. As a standard banner character, she's accessible to everyone eventually, either through regular pulls or that infamous 300 pull pity system. And yes, losing a 50-50 on a limited banner hurts, but hey, if you land Brona instead, it's not a bad consolation prize. She's like the gift that keeps on giving, as long as you know how to build her right. What makes Brona shine? She's the kind of support every DPS dreams of. She can cleanse debuffs, boost damage output, and even hand out instant turns to your hard hitters. It's like she's your team's biggest cheerleader, except she's also doing all the heavy lifting in the background. Got a character with insane crit DMG potential? Brona will take them to the moon. But there's a catch. She's not great for teams that rely on damage over time mechanics, and she guzzles skill points like they're going out of style. Still, her synergy with burst-heavy teams is unmatched. The only real downside is that you need to be smart about managing your skill points when she's on the field. She's powerful, but you'll need to make sure the rest of your team isn't left starving for resources. That said, if you're not running a DOT team, Brona is probably one of the most versatile Harmony characters in the game. Whether you're a veteran or a newbie, you'll be happy to have her on your side. And once you figure out how to play to her strengths, she'll elevate your entire roster. Robin is one of those characters in Honkai Star Rail who really knows how to keep things simple while still packing a punch. Her kit is straightforward and easy to understand, which makes her an excellent pick for players who don't want to overcomplicate their strategies. Her skill gives the entire party a 50% damage boost. Yes, you heard that right, 50%. It's a massive power-up that sets the stage for some high-octane battles. Oh, and her talent? It casually cranks everyone's crit DMG up too. She's basically saying, here, take these buffs and go crazy. Now, let's talk about her ultimate, which is the crown jewel of her kit. When Robin pops her ultimate, it's like hitting the gas pedal on your entire team. Everyone gets an instant turn, which is already wild, but that's not all. She follows up with a coordinated attack whenever an ally strikes an enemy. The synergy potential here is through the roof, especially if you've built a follow-up attack team. Characters like Clara or Tingyun pair exceptionally well with Robin's ability to dish out bonus hits like they're going out of style. But, and it's a big but, Robin isn't all sunshine and rainbows. If you're not running her in a follow-up team, things can get a little dicey. Her ultimate has a high cost, and without the right synergy, it's challenging to charge it up again in time to keep the momentum going. So while she can shine brilliantly with the right setup, she's not as versatile as some of the other Harmony characters. Still, if you've got the right team in place, Robin is an absolute game changer. Let's talk about one of the standout Harmony characters in Honkai Star Rail, Tingyun. If you've been playing since the game launched, you've probably heard her name thrown around a lot, and for good reason. Tingyun is the 4-star powerhouse when it comes to support, and she's been holding on to that title ever since day one. Her kit is just that good. She's got energy regeneration, ATK buffs, DMG boosts, and even a little SPD boost to sprinkle on top. That's a lot of utility packed into one character, especially for a 4-star. Now, here's the beauty of Tingyun. She works well with practically anyone. Sure, pairing her with a lightning DPS feels natural, but honestly, you could slap her into almost any team, and she'll pull her weight. She's like the Swiss Army knife of support characters. Need more damage? She's got you. Want faster skill rotations? No problem. And if you're lucky enough to grab a few of her Eidolons, her potential only goes up. The one downside? She's a little squishy, but don't worry, just stack some def and HP on her. She doesn't need much else to shine, so why should you prioritize building Tingyun? It's simple. She's versatile, effective, and incredibly easy to use. Whether you're in the early game, mid-game, or even tackling tougher late-game content, Tingyun is a reliable pick. She's the kind of character that makes you think, why didn't I build her sooner? So if you're sitting on a copy or two of her, don't sleep on it. She's one of the best investments you can make in your roster. Let's talk about one of the most unique Harmony characters in Honkai Star Rail, the Harmony Trailblazer. At first glance, you might think, Harmony? Shouldn't they be buffing my team left and right? Well, think again. This Trailblazer flips the script on what you expect from the path. No basic attack buffs, no skill boosts for allies. This unit is all about taking the fight straight to the enemy with a high-energy, aggressive playstyle. Here's the kicker. Breaking an enemy's weakness isn't just satisfying, it's a full-on strategy. Every time you shatter their toughness bar, the Harmony Trailblazer regenerates their own energy and grants your team a unique effect. That sets them up for their ultimate, a game-changer that can completely shred your opponents. While the ultimate is active, every attack on a weakness-broken enemy triggers bonus super break damage. The damage scales based on the toughness DMG of that attack and the enemy's break effect. Put them in the right team, and you could be seeing numbers soar over 50,000 DMG per hit. Yep, it's that wild. What makes this unit even more exciting is their versatility. Pair them with characters who specialize in breaking toughness, and suddenly you've got a team that thrives on destruction. Whether you're up against tanky bosses or swarms of enemies, the Harmony Trailblazer turns every turn into a calculated beatdown. So if you've been thinking Harmony characters are all about playing support, this Trailblazer will prove you very, very wrong. Let's talk about one of the freshest and most exciting additions to the Harmony roster in Honkai Star Rail, Ruan Mei. As a 5-star Ice Harmony unit, she brings something truly special to the table, making her stand out even among some of the best supports in the game. Her kit is a game changer. No exaggeration. Ruan Mei can boost your team's weakness break efficiency and all-type pen, which are stats you normally can't find on light cones or relics. It's like she's got a secret recipe for breaking enemy defenses wide open and letting your DPS run wild. Now, here's the kicker. Ruan Mei doesn't just stop at making your damage dealers shine. By amplifying weakness break efficiency, she ensures enemies lose their turns more often, giving you a massive edge in battles. With her in your lineup, you can even get away with skipping a sustainer entirely. Imagine playing the toughest content in the game without worrying about keeping your team alive because your enemies can't even get a turn. Pair her with a DOT, damage over time team, and suddenly battles that used to feel impossible start looking like a walk in the park. What makes Ruan Mei even more fascinating is how seamlessly she fits into almost any composition. Whether you're running a high-risk, high-reward glass cannon setup or stacking DOTs to slowly chip away at bosses, her buffs ensure your team's potential is maxed out. She's not just another Harmony character, she's the definition of versatility and efficiency. So, if you've been lucky enough to pull Ruan Mei, congratulations, you've got yourself one of the best supports in the game. And if not, well, it might be time to start saving those stellar jades. Alright, let's talk about Sparkle, the latest and greatest Harmony character in Honkai Star Rail. This 5-star quantum powerhouse doesn't just fill a role, she practically defines it. Unlike some other characters, Sparkle doesn't leave you wanting more. She's a complete package. Her skill alone is already strong enough to elevate any team, giving you crit DMG bonuses and action advancement all in one go. That means you can use it more often, get those juicy crit hits, and keep the action flowing smoothly. But here's where it gets even better, her ultimate. Sparkle doesn't stop at just providing buffs. Oh no, she's got a trick up her sleeve with the ability to generate 4 skill points with her ultimate, completely covering any potential SP deficit your team might have. For teams that rely on skill-heavy DPS units, this is a game changer. You're not just getting more damage, you're getting more opportunities to dish it out. She keeps the ball rolling, and the synergy is unreal. So, when you pair Sparkle with your top DPS units, it's like adding rocket fuel to the fire. The bonus crit DMG, the SP management, and the sheer utility of her kit make her a must-have buffer. If you've got a character who relies on skill points and crits, Sparkle is the perfect fit. She's not just a supporting character, she's the ultimate booster. If you're lucky enough to pull her, she'll be the star of your Harmony team in no time. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.